Columbo is my favourite TV show of all time. Every episode starred the great Peter Falk as Lieutenant Columbo, a shabby LAPD homicide detective with one good eye, an invisible wife, and a fondness for cigars.
Stop smoking those things.
Well, I've been trying.
Trying isn't good enough.
But this was not a mystery series, oh no. Instead, we typically see a murder play out from the perspective of the murderer.
Vic!
Murders were never simple. They always had to be elaborate, convoluted, and enjoyable to watch unfold. The murderers themselves were usually played by, at the time, some of the biggest names in film and television. I'm talking Leonard Nimoy, Ray Milland, Vera Miles, Martin Landau, and even Johnny fucking Cash, to name but a few.
What do he mean, murder? And why am I talking to somebody from homicide?
They were always high society types. Wealthy, smug, and elite. The joy of Columbo comes from watching this humble detective walk into the scene and start slowly poking holes in the killer's story, proving to them that no one is above the law, and no matter how smart they think they are, there's no such thing as the perfect crime.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
The episode always ends with Columbo lining up all the circumstantial evidence, and then bam, he hits them with one irrefutable piece of proof, the kind that nails them to the wall. Fans like to refer to these moments as the gotcha moments. Columbo's origins can be traced back to a short story titled May I Come In, written by Richard Levinson and William Link. The story stars a Lieutenant Fisher, but his name was changed to Columbo when the story was adapted into an hour-long episode of The Chevy Mystery Show, an anthology series that aired on NBC in 1960. In Enough Rope, Bert Freed played Columbo opposite Richard Carlson as a psychiatrist who murders his wife. This would actually be Freed's final screen role. Unfortunately, this episode is not easily available to watch online, but can be viewed by appointment in the Pali Media Center archives in New York and Los Angeles. Lincoln Levinson later adapted Enough Rope into a stage play titled Prescription Murder, with Thomas Mitchell playing Columbo. But sadly he died while the show was on tour. Geez, was the role of Columbo cursed or what? Peter Falk certainly took his life in his hands when he signed to play Columbo in the 1968 TV Movie of the Week adaptation for NBC. The character turned out to be incredibly popular, and NBC decided to order a pilot for a potential Columbo series that would air on a regular basis. In 1971, Falk reprised the role in Ransom for a Dead Man, which was successful enough that the studio commissioned the creation of a full Columbo series. Columbo aired as part of the NBC Mystery Movie Wheel, where every week a different show would air in the same time slot. So you'd basically get a new Columbo episode every 3 weeks with other shows in between. This allowed Columbo episodes to run on a little longer than usual as well. And over the course of the show's run, the average running time for an episode would expand from 75 minutes to up to 98 minutes. Other than Columbo himself, the show has virtually no other regular returning characters. In fact, the most recurring character after Columbo is his dog, which he names Dog. Other trademarks include Columbo's beat-up looking car, well-worn raincoat, and iconic catchphrase, "Just one more thing." Columbo originally ran from 1971 to 1978, ended production for 11 years, and was then brought back in the 1990s. It's pretty much universally agreed that the newer revival era episodes were infinitely inferior to the older classic era episodes, but there are a few gems hidden in there. The final episode ultimately aired in 2003. So that's a brief history of Columbo, but why be brief when you can be incredibly, nauseatingly in-depth? Since 2021 will mark the 50th anniversary of Columbo's first season, what better time for me to start what I'm going to call the Columbo Episode Guide. My personal mission to review every single episode of the show. That's 69 episodes across 35 years, just so you know. I've already seen every episode, of course, but some of them I've only seen once, so I will be revisiting some of them for the first time in this series. It's sure to be an interesting experience, and I certainly hope that you're going to enjoy this as much as I am. I really do.